Hi, I'm the ballsy badass Shotzi Blackheart, and you're watching True Hill Heat.
What's up, True Hill Heat? True Hill Heat. What's up? True Hill Heat. All hands on me.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Hill Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Rob Van Dam. Listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Ladies and gents, I am Killer Cross.
And I'm Scarlett Bordeaux.
And you are watching True Heel Heat. TikTok, motherfucker.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for episode 90, Yeet or versus Punk, discussing last night's October 20th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw as only we can. And to do that, I would be usually joined by one of my two colleagues here on the channel, either Top Guy JJ or Romeo because it's Tuesday. It's 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, or a little bit after 1:05 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm supposed to be here with one of my good brothers. But instead, I'm here with none of my good brothers because they hate me as much as WWE hates people under the age of 30. Yes, we're going to talk about that on today's show. But yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. It helps out the YouTube algorithm and helps other wrestling fans, WWE fans like yourself, to see other True Heel Heat content and see this video in particular. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. It goes and helps us out to reach other people who might not know about True Heel Heat. And if you are someone who doesn't know about True Heel Heat or hasn't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We are consistently here with live streams anywhere between 3 to 7 times a week. You don't get as many wrestling YouTube channels as active as True Heel Heat, and the reason why we are so active is all of you who support us and hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. If you're listening to us, you can hit the 5-star rating and hit the subscribe button over on all your favorite your favorite audio platforms, and you can also sound off in the live chat if you're watching us on demand. That helps us out in keeping the conversation going long after this review. And you can also sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you, and I love to interact with all of you when I'm riding solo. You guys are my co-hosts. I'm not alone. You guys are here with me. So thank you so much for that. Oh, you like the that's my daughter's pictures. You can see it better when I'm doing the solo stream. You can see my daughter's pictures better. And if you guys know, my daughter is quite the artist. She did a picture. I have it somewhere here. I would have to look for it. But she did a picture of Peppa Pig murdering Talking Tom. So my daughter is very good at art. So love you, sweetie. Love the Harlem. But yes, sound off in the live chat. I'll highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible. You could do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here. Goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward. So we always appreciate the support. Your support is the reason why I am here every Tuesday to review Monday Night Raw on Rated Raw Review. So thank you so much for everything. We got one of our members in the channel. That's another great way to support us by hitting the join button and become a member for just $1 a month. You get exclusive content. You always get our comments highlighted when we are here live on the channel. He says, I make beats, says, congratulations, Team AJ Lee. I like to call them the Phenomenal Dragons. I feel like Phenomenal Dragons is a great name. I don't care what anybody says. Phenomenal Dragons, give me that all day. But good to see you. I make beats. We also got Zach Minger, who says National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. SP3 and Top Guy JJ. Still waiting on Top Guy JJ. He said 1:20. It's 2 minutes past. He's 2 minutes late for work. We also got in the chat Bone Daddy. What's going on, Bone Daddy? He says, let's see that opening. Yeah, the real SP3. Yeah, you know it. We also got Annika, who says we gotta buy a APA out on these jokers. We also got I Made Beats, who says SP3 the workhorse. Appreciate you for that. For sure. We got Bone Daddy saying love the subtle Halloween back pictures. Yeah, it does look like Halloween theme, but she probably drew these like not near Halloween because she just loves horror. She's like her mom. Her mom is big into like horror films, so I think that's why she does the drawings that she does. We also got a super chat donation from our good brother Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says WWE hates insert term used in your tweet. Can't have people born in the decade sit on top. I'm I am really stunned, Vala, by how many people did not get the joke of me calling Bron Breakker a YN. Quite surprised. I'm quite surprised that that joke went over people's head, or that people took me that seriously. I was quite surprised by a couple of those quote tweets, and I had to reply to some of the quote tweets and the comments because it's like, dude, like. Anyway, but yeah, keep going. Thank you. He literally is orange. Like, why would I not call him a YN? Like, come on, guys. See, I understand. You guys understand my sense of humor. People on social media, if you've never seen me before, never seen any of my tweets, and that's the first one you see, I can understand. You would think I'm being serious. No, I don't. I'm joking. You should never think I'm being serious. I make base says, jokes aside, it was a banger tag match indeed. We're going to talk about that matchup on this show. That was the opener of last night's show. We got Davion in the chat who says, what's good? I hope the Phenomenal Dragons will actually defend the titles, unlike the Judgment Day. We've done 2 different Judgment Day title reigns with JD and Finn Balor, and neither one of them was even halfway decent. They just put the titles on them and book them in matches without defending them. And then 3 months goes by and then they lose the titles. This is you literally did the same thing back-to-back years. It's kind of astonishing at this point. We got Power Driver Finisher. He says, nah, you have no care for seeing random tag teams. Yeah, like I have no type of like expectations in regards to be like, oh yeah, they're definitely gonna really be some good tag team champions. And WWE has literally not given you the opportunity to even believe that. I may be saying I didn't even see the tweet or have Twitter, but I got the joke. Thank you. See, you guys understand my sense of humor. To be fair to y'all, and to be fair to the idiots on social media. We got also here, we got Power Driver Finisher who says, can't wait for next week's AEW. It's Halloween week, or so who knows if both Collision and Dynamite are Halloween themed. If we can get Hangman Adam Page in the State Puff marshmallow costume again, sign me up. I'm here for it. Sign me up for all of that. I'm here if he's going to wear the State Puff marshmallow. That is what I want to see out of my wrestling. I don't know about you. Let me know in the chat. We also got here Annika who says, and Finn and JD are so good together. Yeah, that's the crazy part, because this is not just like a tag team. Oh, it's just a tag team thing. No, we have literally seen this with the Women's World Championship as well. You win a championship on Monday Night Raw and you just stop defending it. You just stop wrestling. Io Sky, one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, one of the best wrestlers, period, in the world today, won the Women's World Championship earlier this year and didn't wrestle for 2 months. Rhea Ripley, one of the best women's wrestlers on this roster, one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling today, won the Women's World Championship last year, stopped wrestling. Even this year, when she won it this year, she stopped wrestling for a month. Like, that's what he does. He just puts the title on somebody. He's like, okay, we'll feature you. We'll do promos. We'll do backstage segments. We'll do multi-man matches, but you're never going to defend this title. You're just never going to defend it. That's literally what it feels like he tells them. That's your goal. Just don't defend that title, okay? You promise? All right. I'll put the title on. Bone Daddy says, phenomenal style. Oh, man. Well, that doesn't incorporate Dragon Lee, though. I think that's the key. We're missing the reference to Dragon Lee in that name. Power Driver Finisher says Dragon Phenomenal One should be the name. A play on H's booking. You might be on to something there. You might be on to something there as well. But don't worry, guys. I am not riding solo for much longer here. I had to do the first 15 minutes alone, but he's got me, I guess, for the next whatever. He is my co-host here. He is themed for the occasion. He is Top Guy JJ. How are you doing, Top Guy?
What's going on, man? Ran a few minutes later than usual, but, you know, I can't control everything as far as traffic. So, but we here, we back now, and that's something really cool because this. What's up, chat? How y'all doing? What's going on? So this came like 2 hours after the Rated Raw review last week. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna save it for this week. So check this bad boy out.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh, he's got the shirt. Let me put you on the big screen. Hold up. Let me put you on the big screen. Oh, look at that. He finally got the shirt, y'all. He finally can stop waiting for Monday Night Raw to put her in the ring to get his little alone session in. He has a shirt to do it now. That's awesome.
You know, hell yeah. You know, had to get some extra paper towels as well.
I heard your new wallpaper was paper towel. You put it on the top, you put it on the ceiling, and then on the wall. Nah, that shirt is dope, though. That shirt's dope. I like it. I like the outfit and everything. Gotta respect it for sure.
Yeah, I had to. It kind of felt like a fucking twerk for a minute because I had to fucking drop my knees low enough to the camera to catch it.
He said he twerking with the shirt.
Probably never doing that again. That's what it felt like. I dead ass felt like that shit was like all I gotta do is like a pop and I'm fucking twerking, dog.
He was like, I'm kind of bent over here. He only came. He says he only came here to flex the drip, sir.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. But you gotta feel good. You feel good. You look good. You look good. You do good.
This is true.
This is true. The hell? If you don't like what you wear, then what the fuck you buying it for?
Probably don't wear it. I like my black Beavis and Butthead shirt.
Oh, that is dope.
I like that. I like that stuff.
You got Negro head and Negro Beavis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it.
That's awesome.
Yes. But yes, keep coming with those comments in the live chat. We do have another super chat donation here, actually, from Valup once again. Thank you so much, Valup, for the support. He says, also, can we please talk about that bald fraud Paul acting like the people who peaked in high school? You won. You're the boss. Why are you so bitter about your own booking back in the day? I 100% agree with all of this. Triple H, his form of booking, he basically books like he's Al Bundy. And he's still talking about the high school football game that he had 4 touchdowns in.
This man is still mad about terrorizing 40 years later.
Like, I think what Valup is referring to is the fact that I had a whole big rant this morning on In the Weeds because of this episode of Monday Night Raw, Top Guy JJ. Because WWE hates YNs, apparently. They just hate anyone. If you have a 2 in front of your age, they look at you like you're the abdominal plague. They don't want anything to do. They don't want to put you in the upper echelon. I don't understand. And I feel like I'm going into the review before we do the review, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just don't understand how you do last week's ending and then follow it up with removing him from the main event scene completely. That is unbelievable.
I mean, just make the layup. That's all they had to do is make the layup. Like, what is up with no one wanting to make easy baskets? Like, it's like, how much more upset can you possibly get at this fucking company that there was literally no reason behind any of what took place last night?
No.
None. No reason at all. This man was going to miss and have to relinquish the title without the attack. So they try to make it a story and say a single spear and a single tsunami has elevated and exaggerated his injury to a point where he has to give up his championship.
Yeah.
two bumps.
Yep. And the fact that you did the whole angle, last week. You did the whole angle last week, and you had Braun, hold up the title. Not only just hold up the title, but usually you see that a guy's going to challenge for the title. He holds up the title, drops the title on the champion. No, you went through the whole process of doing a steal the belt angle where Braun shows up and shows us a vision of the future. And my God, did he look incredible with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Like a good future.
It just looked like, okay, why are we wasting time?
Looks like it fits. It just looked like it. Right place, right time, right moment.
And the fact that the whole opening segment.
And the godly, I know we all over the place, but my God, and then that fucking main event is literally going to be a rematch of what we got 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we got 2 weeks in a row. Because remember, we got the tag team match 2 weeks ago with LA Knight and CM Punk versus Jay and Jimmy. Then we got last week a triple threat with Jay, Punk, and LA Knight. We get to skip 2 weeks, and then we get a singles match between the same guys we've been seeing wrestle each other for 3 months now. 47 and 40 years old. But the 28-year-old guy that started the show holding the title, which literally set up a segment that was begging for him to use the bargain chip of the title to guarantee he had a title match. No, we just need him to embarrass and disrespect the authority figure. So the authority figure will use that as the reason not to put him in the battle royal. Because Romeo, our usual co-host here, yes, I'm gonna air it out. Romeo literally was like, "Oh, I like the fact that Pierce didn't reward Braun for attacking Seth." And I had to tell him that's not actually the reason why he wasn't in the battle royal. He was in the battle royal after he attacked Seth. We literally had a graphic. We literally did a backstage segment saying that there was a graphic with Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed in the matchup. And we got a whole backstage segment explaining to us that Pierce was so disrespected and so upset by the disrespect that he removed them from the matchup for that, not the attack last week. The attack last week, it's like it never happened at this point.
So we get removed from a match because we ask our GM to say please, and then we take them out of the match to do a turn play, and then he still says no, and then they double down on it by having Paul telling Braun that he has a lot to learn.
And Braun agreeing, saying, "I have a lot to learn." I was like, well, you look like a fucking dweeb.
Like,
yo, they literally got their opportunity unrightfully taken away from them. And they just basically said, "Oh, well, we got a lot to learn."
Like, let me tell you something, and this would have been whack. Trust me, this would have been whack. But it at least would have been a part of the show that you could talk about and move on from. Just have the entire Rumble jump them and throw them out first.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand. There's people that are defending the decision last night by saying, well, they didn't want Braun to look bad. That's why they didn't put him in the battle royal at all. I am sorry. Getting thrown over the top rope does not make you look bad. That is not the same as being pinned in a match, as tapping out in a match. Getting thrown over the top rope? What? We didn't want to see Braun thrown over the top rope.
What are we even talking about? Like, what are we even talking about here? Yo,
God forbid he gets
thrown
over the top rope.
Spoiler alert, this is not getting a high grade.
It's not.
Spoiler alert.
It's not. Oh my god! Like I think everything mostly on this show.
They
was
just threw
perfectly
away so much progress in a 1 week span. It is actually amazing.
Fine. It is.
It's actually amazing.
I'm actually impressed. I'm actually impressed.
Like the amount that they could fuck up in 1 2-hour show, it is astonishing. Like it is actually a feat that very few companies can accomplish.
It's astonishing to me that they did that angle last week, and this was the follow up. This is the follow up.
And then the finish.
Oh man, don't.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Yo,
we're gonna get into
shit on top of shit, and then they covered it with diarrhea.
It's because we I think that us as a community, we did too much praising of last week's show and the last week of WWE. Like every time we badmouth WWE and like demand them do better, they do better. But every time we praise WWE for doing good, they turn around and do this shit.
You know, it's like every time we get like something like a good story, and then we talk about like the easy, and these are simple. This is not like we're coming up with groundbreaking, earth-shattering ideas. It's literally a continuation of the ideas that they planted in our heads that is simple and effective and that would work on weekly television. And they like, nah. Like, satisfy? Fuck you mean satisfy?
No, we're gonna tell a story. I think it's too soon. It's too soon for Bron. He's got to wait. We got to do the 47-year-old versus the 40-year-old at the next big show. But yeah, so let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Without further ado, it's gonna be this might be a long one. But yes, we kicked off the show basically with the highlights of what happened to close last week's show. Oh, before we do that, what did you think about the Sacramento crowd last night? I thought the Sacramento crowd was one of the good things on the show.
They were hot and cold. Like they were really good. They were hot and cold. Like they were really good in some moments and they were really dry in some moments. But they were decent. They were decent.
So we kick off the show with the highlights from last week's closing angle. Then we see GM Adam Pearce is in the ring, and he's here for a talk about what happened last week and in the future. But before he can continue, we see on the Titantron, the Vision have arrived at the building, and we get this beautiful sight. Bron Breakker.
Look at that.
Holding the World Heavyweight Champion. It was like it was meant to be there. It was meant to be. So we get Bron and Bronson and Paul Heyman all making their way down to the ring. They step into the ring and go face to face with the Raw general manager. Pearce gets right to the point.
No, SP, just leave. Go back. Can you go back to that last picture?
What, this one?
Can like just think about how much they're about to fuck this image up.
This image looks so good. It looks
like this is main event shit right here. And they are about to nuke this shit. Like it is incredible. It is
kind of amazing.
It's so incredible.
It's impressive. So Adam Pearce basically gets on the mic and he lets the Vision know that due to their actions, the title has now been vacated and Seth Rollins has been relinquished of the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, he's been stripped.
He's been stripped. Excuse me.
He's stripped. Let's add that nugget into it. You strip an injured person from from his championship
because he couldn't make it. Apparently,
so he doesn't get the opportunity to do a video and relinquish it. He's stripped because he's injured.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's fuck up number one out of
A few in this promo.
It's going to be hard to keep count, but there's already one.
Yeah. So he says the title is vacated, but we will crown a new champion at Saturday night's main event. CM Punk has already earned the right to be there, and he will face the winner of a over-the-top rope, good old-fashioned battle royal being held tonight to determine his opponent. Pierce wants Breakker to hand him the World Heavyweight Championship. Breakker smiles. He gets in Pierce's face. Paul Heyman tries to counsel Breakker that he should probably give the title or, something might happen.
Whatever.
But Breakker instead asks what happens if he doesn't. Heyman gives him another sidebar. Breakker wants some respect. He says he wants a please from Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is more than upset. He feels embarrassed and humiliated by Breakker, but he begrudgingly basically says yes. He doesn't like it, but he does say, please give him the World Heavyweight Championship. Instead, Breakker hands it over to Paul Heyman, once again disrespecting Pearce. Eventually, Heyman hands it to Pearce. Pearce then leaves with the World Heavyweight Championship, so the ring is left to Paul Heyman and the Vision. Heyman gets on the mic, and he asks why everyone is so mad at them. He watches WWE Unreal. Why are we addressing WWE Unreal on the scripted show? I don't understand. I just don't understand. And he knows they're the heels. You really shouldn't be saying that. But he says they didn't cause Rollins' injury. Heyman didn't turn on Roman Reigns and CM Punk for Seth Rollins, but rather because Bron Breakker is the future. On top of that, he knows that Bronson Reed is better than Roman Reigns. The reality is that Rollins couldn't shoulder the responsibility and he couldn't be one of the winners who will be writing the history because those winners are right here. Heyman says that the future is right here, and then he finishes off his promo by saying, "Welcome to Monday Night Rollins." That gets some boos from the crowd as the Vision hold court to kick off Monday Night Raw, staking their claim, talking about all the success and why Heyman chose the Braun Stars over Seth Rollins. So we did get an explanation of that. He did also explain that it was the Braun Stars that conspired against Seth Rollins, and he had no other choice than to align with them over Rollins. And then we did get the graphic for the over-the-top royal to determine who CM Punk's opponent will be. And standing front and center on that graphic is Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Spoiler alert, that wouldn't last for too long.
Wait, hold on. Was that the actual graphic from the show?
Yes.
Bro, I didn't even peep that AJ and Dragon Lee already got the chips.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this was the graphic they showed after the opener. So.
Okay. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, they showed that graphic after the opener, so that's why they had the tag team titles. But man, there's so many things wrong here. There's just so many things wrong here. First of all, I think Pierce did acknowledge that Seth was already hurt going into Monday's Raw, and the Vision, basically their beating that they gave him was like the straw that broke the camel's back and basically put him on the sideline.
Oh,
that was all fine. No, that's all.
WrestleMania. That's going to cause them to possibly miss WrestleMania.
That's all fine and dandy, but the fact no, that's fine in comparison to all the other problems here. Really, it is. Because you set up this segment with Bron Breakker coming out with Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship. And to give back the World Heavyweight Championship, he wanted or requested and basically demanded a please from Adam Pearce. Stag King brought this up, and he didn't even watch the segment, but he was like, Bron Breakker came out with the World Heavyweight Championship. Why didn't he use that as a bargaining chip to guarantee he gets a world title match? I was like, yeah, that would have been a much better segment if he said, you can have the title back, but I'm gonna be in that battle royal. That would have
in the battle royal.
I know.
He was already in it.
I am trying to script this. I'm trying to make this segment better by basically getting that out the way and answering that question before we get him in the battle royal and then removed from the battle royal only because some hurt feelings. Like, just, oh my God. Like, this whole thing just felt like a letdown. It felt like, oh, we're not hitting the levels that we did with last week's opening segment with this follow-up. Because you gave us a great visual of Braun with the World Heavyweight Championship and then immediately take it away. You immediately kind of explain and tie up any loose ends in regards to the attack. By the end of this show, it's like this attack really didn't matter. It really didn't matter because we thought the attack last week to close the show was the elevation of Bron Breakker from number 2 in the group or enforcer of the group or the muscle of the Vision to the leader of the Vision and the next world heavyweight champion. Like, when is WWE going to realize you don't make a guy a bigger star or a better star by waiting years to put him over, years to be a world champion? And just look at this company's history. Every motherfucker, it was less time than we have seen Bron Breakker on national television. We saw Bron Breakker make his national television debut on NXT 2.0 in 2021. And I know some people is going to be like, well, he wasn't on the main roster quite yet. So, it's only been 2 years of him on the main. He's been on national TV for 4 years. Like, let's be real. Like, NXT, yes, they did try to become a developmental when he arrived on that brand. But it was on USA Network. It's on cable television. That counts. That counts. We have seen him grow from that time when he debuted in 2021, 4 years ago, to what he is now. And WWE has made it clear he's the next guy. Just pull the fucking trigger. Just pull the fuck. He's 28 years old. Are you going to wait for him to turn 35 as well? This company has never had a world champion born in 1990 or later. They get the perfect opportunity to put that guy in a position to be a world champion, to at least be the main event of the next big show. And they say, we're not putting you in that match at all. That is the wrong decision.
I think I might have a lot to add to the problem here. So, the segment explanation itself made no sense. To me, it made no sense. So, this was a plot now for all of this. This didn't look like a plot last week. This looked like an on-the-fly decision. This looked like you choose, you make a decision, you got no choice. You either are with or against. That's it. And then now this was in the works for months. So you helped this guy for months, and he's now a champion, and now you take him. You take him out, even though the flying headbutt took him out. And then Paul Heyman goes on this tirade of the history of everybody that he's.
Well, no, that's not.
I know. I'm talking about late. I'm doing a little bit of a blend here because I'm trying to pay attention. I'm listening to what he's talking about, his future, his vision. Seth Rollins wasn't this. Seth Rollins wasn't that. But you left the best thing in your life for this man to plan a betrayal as soon as you join him. How the fuck does that make any logical sense?
Apparently, Seth Rollins got with somebody that he knew was going to turn on him. So Seth's a fucking idiot.
So that you're going to even get more smokescreen bullshit later on in the show.
No, and the reason why I was trying to interrupt you, because I think that I didn't go in enough on Paul Heyman's bullshit promo that he gave us in the ring. It was just all the whole bullshit. It was bullshit to explain shit. It was straight bullshit. It was like Triple H wrote it, and it just the words came out of Paul Heyman's mouth.
It's like he wrote it. Paul tried his best to tweak it in a believable manner, but you could tell this was 100% whoever writes these promos was written and delivered to the page. And it just gave a completely different story to everything that we've been hearing, listening to for the past 6 months now. 6 months? 6 months? Mm-hmm. Yep. WrestleMania was 6 months ago.
Yep.
WrestleMania was 6 months ago. He got Bron Breakker, what, a month later? Or what, a couple weeks later? Couple weeks later?
No, the next day.
He got Bron Breakker the next day. He got Bronson Reed the following
a month later.
A month later. He got Bronson Reed a month later. So they've been together 5 months. This has been a plot. This has been a plot to happen since May. They've been plotting this since May. So for some reason, a guy that is not a champion, a guy that is not he doesn't have any stock or stake. He is literally just trying to build a group, but you're already plotting a turn on him. For what? What the fuck do you gain from that? What the fuck do you actually gain from that? This is the plot. This is what we're going to do. This is what's going to happen. We're just really waiting for the right moment. And now you take him out, and now the whole plan goes up in smoke because your bargaining chip, the one that you're sitting there holding that you arrived to the fucking show with, you literally just have to say, I am in the next world championship match, or you do not see the championship again. You can create another one, but you know who got the real one.
Sounds pretty simple to me.
We have a pay-per-view in God knows how, in 5 weeks. How much? They got 5 weeks before Survivor Series. This was such a long period of time for them to create something actually decent. So
we should throw out some of the rebuttals that we're gonna get, because I've been getting rebuttals of my comment because I put out a tweet yesterday where I did say WWE has a hatred for YNs, and I did refer to Bron Breakker as a YN because of his complexion, of course. But I had more people commenting that, oh, he's not a YN, more than what my actual point was. I found that hilarious.
That's the internet in general. That's the internet.
I know it is. It's definitely.
They don't even have the internet doesn't even half read, which is like it is actually. They don't even half read. Your internet people literally. And I'm not talking about the people in the chat, because we actually got some smart motherfuckers in this chat. Thank God. but the people that is in these communities in wrestling, and mind you, there's like a pod that I'm like, these people do not think.
No.
All they literally look for is a trigger response, and then call you like offensive or crashing out or something like it. You even bother like trying to digest what was said? No, clearly not. But this is such a normal occurrence with people that it's become normal, and it's actually kind of embarrassing, because you cannot hold an intellectual conversation via chat with people that is in other communities because of how limited their fucking brain functions are. It is actually embarrassing as a society and as a community that you cannot take 32 seconds and actually read a small snippet and use your fucking brain to actually try to, digest what is being said instead of, oh, he's not a YN. You literally just read 2 words and just
exactly. They just stopped reading. So my whole tweet is WWE's hatred for YNs pisses me off. Braun looked like a million bucks with the title, and he has to wait his turn, quote unquote, at 28 years old, while a 47-year-old and a 40-year-old battle for it. I'm old too, but I don't hate the youngins like this. I don't see how you could read all of that, and the only thing they got was Braun's
he's not a YN, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you understand how limited brain cells you have to come up with that kind of response?
This tweet has been viewed 62,000 times.
Right. That's amazing. That, congratulations on that.
574 likes, 52 quote tweets, and 38 retweets.
So now you got what's crazy is that bum shoulder bitch line would have been a lot harder if this promo was any good.
Yeah.
But this promo was no good.
I think I was already kind of like
it's like the whole set. It's like it turned off.
Yeah.
And then you turn this negotiation into literally all Bron Breakker wants from this man to say is please. And mind you, Adam Pearce was disrespectful. Adam Pearce was rude. Like Adam Pearce, like it damn sure don't belong to you. Like you have the right to have animosity towards someone, but when a man asks you to say please, now you're butthurt. Now you're butthurt because you gotta ask something for someone nicely after you are literally the worst GM possibly in the history of the WWE.
Oh, he's just gonna make that case stronger for himself of the worst GM ever.
This segment just went so off the rails and got so bad that it just became like, yo, I just wasted 20 minutes of my time because I was invested in watching and paying like very close attention to this segment. And I feel like, yo, I just wasted my time. This was a complete waste of time. Because
me personally, after watching this segment, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. Then the backstage segment happened where they get removed, and I'm like, I'm a little worried now. But I was like, you know what? I did not tweet yet. I did not say anything yet. Where I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the battle royal. Maybe they come out in the battle royal. He still wins the battle royal. Maybe something can happen.
And that's
I waited until the end of the show where I was just like, yo, they hate young people. They just hate them.
And it's like, yo, all right, the segment was bad in itself, but the show is still salvageable. It's still salvageable because both in the battle royal. They're both in the match.
Yep.
So the segment was bad. We've seen worse. So it's like, okay, we've seen Seth Rollins open the show 22 times this year. So we can get past a bad segment and a bad exchange and an all. We can get past that. But the amount of damage done after this segment makes this segment that much worse.
Okay, so this was the point I was trying to make before. So I have this list. I'm going to run down this list of major main eventers from the last 25 years. Are you ready, JJ? The Rock showed up on television on national TV for the first time in November of 1996, won his first world title 2 years later in November of 1998. Stone Cold Steve Austin, he debuts in the winter of 1995. He wins his first world title by the spring of 1998. So we'll say 3 years, but it's really like 2.5 years. It's 2.5 years. The Undertaker debuts in November of 1990, wins the world title 1 year later in November of 1991. Kurt Angle debuts in November of 1999, wins his first world title in October of 2000.
Less than a year. Yep.
Brock Lesnar debuts in April of 2002, wins his first world title 5 months later in August of 2002. CM Punk, the current main eventer, debuted in June of 2006, won his first world title in June of 2008. 2 years. Seth freaking Rollins. Debuted in November of 2012, won his first world title in March of 2015, 2.5 years. Roman Reigns debuted in November of 2012. He won his first world title in November of 2015, 3 years. Bron Breakker has been on TV for 4 years.
But there's an asterisk between Seth and Roman, is that they spent their first 1.5 to 2 years as a group.
Yeah, that too. No, but this is not the stats that I really.
Well, they won championships.
The stats I really wanted to read to you, JJ, because we talked about this a lot, I think, on True Hill Heat and last week's show. You want to know the average age of a world champion from 1983 to 2022 for Vince McMahon as head of creative?
This is 40 years of data.
40 years. 40 years of data, and I came up with the average year.
Actually impressive.
Do you want to know
SP
the average
deserves
year?
a super chat for this data.
Do you want to know the average year? You want to know the average year, JJ?
Hold on. Let me just take a wild guess. So
yeah,
the
take a wild
average champion. So you said
average world
83
champion.
83 to 22.
Yeah.
Right? 83 to 22. So every champion from the 80s and 90s were older champions. So they were in their
No, you're actually wrong.
Hold on. Let me
No. I'm just letting you know the 90s. I'll give you the 90s.
Hold on.
No, I'm just giving you one decade. You still got to figure it out, but I'll give you a close. The average age of the 90s for the world champion was 35.
That's what I was in the 30s as I'm talking.
That's not the answer to the question.
I know, because it gets a little lower because the champions become younger once we hit like the late 90s into the early 2000s. The champions definitely get younger. So I'm going to go average. I'm going to say 30. I'm going to say 32.
It's actually 36. 36. During the height of the company, which was, of course, the Attitude Era, the average age was 32 for a world champion.
You see, that's because I was 8. Yeah, okay. So when did it go back up?
You want to know what's the average age for Triple H in these
No,
3 years?
hold on. No, I want to stick to this 40-year one is impressive. So
yeah.
I want to so you said the 90s was 35.
Well, we look at like we'll start with like the Hulk Hogan.
Because you said the average. You said it's up to 36. Like that.
Yeah, it's 36. It's the average age.
That's a jump. So I'm trying to. Which decade was it where it became like old?
So I'm just gonna go through like different people from starting in the 80s. Hulk Hogan, when he wins his first world championship, is 1984. He was 30 years.
He was in his He was
30 years old.
Right. And then how old was Macho Man when he won his first championship?
So Macho Man was born in 52, so he had to be 35.
Right. So
he was 35 when he won his first world title.
When the fuck did this jump then? Because it feels like it's younger than 36.
Or it's the 2000s era. 2000s is when Vince just stopped pushing the younger guys.
That's
and
when
it's
he
all
made
older guys.
The old Undertaker's champion, when he made the old Triple H's champion.
When John Cena got 10 of his fucking reigns is after
Randy
like the age of
oh my
34.
God. That's when it's the fucking 2000s between John Cena, Randy Orton, and Triple H, where they won like 30 championships between themselves. And that fucking age, because they were in their late 30s, that's when it fucking jumped. It's making sense. And then you throw in a fucking Undertaker championship reign at some point when
in a Vince reign when he was 50.
Then you throw in a fucking oh my God.
Dude,
then you
want to know?
And then you throw in a Hulk Hogan reign when he's in his 50s.
But dude, you didn't even peep game when I was talking about the 90s. You want to know who was the oldest world champion of the 90s in WWE?
Oh, damn. Hold on. Wait. I'm trying to think of was it Sergeant Slaughter?
Nope. It was Bret Hart. His fifth reign in 1997. He was 40 years old. 40 years old is the oldest in 1990. Do you now want to know what's the average age for every world champion in the 3 years Triple H has been in charge between two world titles?
Wait. Hold on. So John Cena's spiking this up a lot. Seth Rollins is damn near 40. Cody Rhodes is damn near 40. Roman Reigns is damn near 40.
Roman is 40.
Okay, Roman is 40. Drew McIntyre is damn near 40, if he's not 40 already.
Mm-hmm. Cody's 40 now.
CM Punk.
CM
Punk is gonna spike that shit up. I'm going 43.
Okay, you actually went higher than it is. The average age is 41 years old. He is nearly a decade older than the height of the company during the Attitude Era, and he's more than 5 years older than than Vince McMahon in 40 years as the head booker.
That means 41.
41.
Shit. I'm about to go fucking pay $100,000 for some reconstructive surgeries and go try out to be champ. I could be in the window.
Yo, it's insane.
Yo, this is so interesting and so embarrassing at the same time.
It's so interesting, yet so embarrassing for you. Not for me, but for you. Damn.
Wow.
I like, yeah, when I
wow,
learned
that was some good shit.
When I learned those stats, I was like, what? That is insane. That is just some insane statistics of why Triple H. This is an issue. It's an issue now.
This man takes no chances.
And this was the biggest one. The best stat that I got. Now you remember all the names that I went through and how it was like 3 years and under they won the world title, right?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I'll give you one guess. Name a main event star in WWE history that it took 4 years from their debut to win a world title. I'll give you one guess, JJ.
Daniel fucking Bryan.
No.
It's not Daniel Bryan?
No.
It's not. Wait, hold on.
I mean, you're well, technically you're not right because Bryan won the World Heavyweight Championship in 2012. He debuts in 2010. But you're not thinking about the obvious. You're not thinking about No, he held the title. He held the title for 4 months before he lost in 18 seconds. But you're not thinking of the obvious one. Think of the question, JJ. Who's had the longest? Who had a 4 years or more run from their debut to win a world title? And then everything makes sense when you know the answer. Triple H. Triple H debuts in the fall of 1995. He doesn't win until the night after SummerSlam 1999. So this nigga is saying to everybody, to all you young niggas, if I have to wait 4 years, all of you do.
So this piece of shit is using himself as the barometer of success.
Yo, it was mid rant on In the Weeds that popped into my head. I was like,
this man is the ultimate piece of shit, dog.
I was like, when was the last time it took 4 years for a guy to be made a main eventer? And then it hit me. I was like, this nigga debuted in 1995. He didn't win his first world title till 19. Oh shit, that's why. That's why everybody got to wait now.
Let me tell you something. You know why I didn't even... I'm going to be honest with you why I didn't even think about Triple H. It's because I forgot that Hunter Hearst Helmsley actually existed.
Fair.
I genuinely forgot that man with the fucking velvet fucking tights and the fucking
he used to do the bow
and all of that bullshit. I forgot that nigga existed. But now, I mean, he is the same person technically.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is actually becoming a little too insane. is that he's not only holding people back off of time and always got to make it the right time. This man, not one time during his era has struck when the iron was hot. Not one time.
No, not even Cody.
Not one time.
Not even Cody, because there's an argument that WrestleMania 39 was a hotter time to pull the trigger.
The closest. And this person, and it's a she. And she's not.
Yeah, they have no problem booking the 20-year-old women.
Yeah,
they have no problem.
Like, it seems like the closest person that they've done to striking while the iron is hot is La Primera. They kind of strapped her like right away. But if you're a man, holy shit, you gotta go through the road. You gotta pay your dues. You gotta suffer consequences. You gotta do the uphill battles. You gotta face what I faced.
Basically, that's what he's telling everybody.
Embarrassing. This is actually that's
so
ridiculous
that I'm getting. That's the message that I'm getting from all of this.
Oh,
all the research that I got in getting this statistics. That's what I came up to. That was the main statistic that I got, and I was like, this makes so much sense.
This is too clear. It's way too clear. Because he's probably not even counting the 3-year period of the Shield, because they were a group and they kind of aren't, they're their own entity. Hunter was never a part of he obviously had DX and all of that. But as far as like a 3-man equal badass killing machine, that wasn't him. They were always having fun. DX was always having fun, no matter what the era was. So everyone else is under the Vince umbrella.
Yeah.
And once he takes over, you can't win until you pay your fucking dues.
Yep. And I thought you were going to say this when you started your sentence, but I'll say it for you. What if he's not counting the NXT years for Braun?
I didn't even think that. I didn't even think that you could punish a man that much. So you telling me? So you telling me there's a chance they're gonna redshirt this nigga?
Yep. Yo. What if they're not even counting the NXT years? That was the thought that came to my mind when thinking about all of this. Like, I was like, wait, what if he's only counting the main roster?
Yo, I will barring injury. I will say barring injury, or barring, there's one exception. If someone just catches an ultimate flame and all of a sudden they become inevitable and undeniable. I'm telling you this right now, SP. If this man does not become a world champion by WrestleMania, I'm taking a break from this fucking company. I'm taking a break from this company. So the only content that I will know of when it comes to wrestling would be AEW. Probably. Like, obviously, I won't unfollow them. I'm not going to do any of that dumb shit. Like, I'm not going to be like this. But as far as taking the time to watch them weekly and to pay attention the way I am, no. Because it's literally every year is going to be the same shit.
Yeah, like Annika said, like she's not sure how to feel because the women aren't catching this fade. They got no problem pushing the under 30 women, because I think it's mainly the main reason for that, though, Annika, is because on average women don't have that long in pro wrestling in comparison to the men. So you have to push them before the age of 30, because a lot of them retire by like 33, 34, 35, 36. Whereas the guys, a lot of them will retire in their 40s, or sometimes, if they're that good, into their 50s. I think that is why it is a different kind of mindset from the management and booking team in regards to how they book women in their 20s in comparison to men in their 20s.
This is I'm like mind fucked right now.
I'm sorry. I am sorry if I had anything to do with that.
Like no Diddy. This man just like penetrated my brain cells.
Jesus, what a phrase.
That's why I had to put no Diddy in front of it, because I knew what I was about to say.
Fair. You
But
did
I'm
play that.
like, what the fuck? Yo, nah. Like, you see now when you are on to something.
Fucking IBB says I'm gonna be laying awake at night thinking about this.
So that means without him saying it, SP just penetrated his brain cells too.
Hey, I'm just here to provide some statistics.
And if you're
explain my thoughts.
you were listening to this, how the fuck could you not think about any of that? That's too many years, too many facts, too many superstars, too many legends, too many top guys for this theory not to have an inkling of sense.
No. But let's
talk
about.
Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, let us know if you enjoyed those statistics and the facts with a super chat donation, and let us know what you think about this whole kind of issue with WWE in regards to booking the younger male stars. Up next, we would see backstage the Judgment Day. They're getting ready for their matches on the show. When Dominik Mysterio comes in and asks if they have this, the team tells them they have this, but they're a little bit pissed off with him, especially Finn and JD, that they have to defend the World Tag Team titles because of what Dom said. They leave and say they're going to handle their stuff. He can handle his matchup on his own. And they leave while Roxanne Perez basically gives Dom a pep talk, telling him that you're bringing all the gold to the Judgment Day. You're a double champion right now. Don't worry about them. Go handle your business, which Dom is appreciative of. And Raquel tries to break this up. It does seem like with that little segment of the Roxanne talking to Dominik, like we're starting up again. We're starting up again the Dom and Roxanne relationship, because Liv Morgan is probably on her way back.
And that's what this faction needs.
Yeah,
they need it. They need a bit of drama, because they would, little dry for a little bit outside of Dom. But yeah, this is some healthy drama that they're gonna need.
Then we get our opening contest, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough defending the World Tag Team Championships against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. McDonough gets knocked down early into the wrong corner to start. Lee comes in, he hits a running knee to Balor and is right back with a basement dropkick for a 2 of his own. It's back to McDonough to take Lee down, as well as the pace slowing down a good bit. Balor slaps suplex, gets a 2. He goes up top, only for AJ Styles to crush him down. Styles gets smart by throwing Lee into the corner, but McDonough low bridges Styles out to the floor, which was a good spot before we went to commercial break. We take a break and come back with Styles fighting out of trouble, handing it back to Dragon Lee for the hot tag. He starts going wild. He hits a crazy looking tope suicida, taking out both Finn and JD on the floor. We get Operation Dragon that is broken up, and it's back to Styles to take Balor down. Lee knocks McDonough outside, and Balor sends Lee out, leaving Styles to hit a beautiful looking phenomenal forearm. And we got one of the best tag team saves that you will see in a WWE ring. McDonough came in this ring and literally broke up the cover for the phenomenal forearm at 2.9.99999. Like that was so close. The crowd even was even counting along and saying 3. McDonough made that save. Then we get a beautiful looking moonsault by McDonough on AJ, followed by Finn Balor hitting the coup de grace. It looks like it's over. Then we get another great save where Dragon Lee basically subverts our expectations, because you see JD is trying to block the pinfall. So you think they're going to do the oh, grab the opponent and then knock it into the pin spot. But instead, Dragon Lee, as McDonough's diving to stop him, leaps over him and dives onto the pin to break up the cover. Great spot there. It breaks down where we're left with AJ and Finn Balor going at it. Finn tries to go for the Styles Clash, but AJ's able to reverse things over into a Styles Clash of his own. Get the 1, 2, 3 for the win. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are your new World Tag Team Champions in an absolute banger. The action was exciting and thrilling, had the fans on the edge of their seat. They bit on all the near falls down the stretch, and we're going absolutely electric towards the end of this matchup. Like the closing stretch of this matchup was some of the best tag team wrestling we've seen on Monday Night Raw this whole year. But new tag team champions ending the reign of the Judgment Day after one successful defense despite winning the titles back in June. So hopefully new champions means a new approach to the tag team titles. But man, wonderful matchup. Definitely a great matchup by everybody involved. I thought AJ and Finn Balor were their usual great stuff, but I really thought the MVPs of this matchup were Dragon Lee and JD McDonough. They were bumping like crazy, hitting all their big moves. Hell of a performance by both guys. What did you think?
This match was fucking awesome. This match had no business being like this good on Monday Night Raw. Like this was a PLE match. Yeah. Like this was great. Like those two near fall finishes, that going underneath JD was so cool. That moonsault that JD hit was so perfect. That shit was so perfect. Like everybody was cooking in this match. Like even Finn was cooking. Like they were all four guys were so good in this match. And part of me is kind of thinking that, Mr. I Hate YNs is hearing rumblings that AJ isn't happy, even though AJ himself has voiced this on the microphone multiple times.
Oh, so it's like, well, to be fair, they dropped that storyline like weeks ago.
No, but like this is they let's throw that out there because there's got to be some truth to that. Some reality to that. Even his son wasn't happy with it, with how AJ was being handled. So let's throw the man a bone. Let's throw him a bone. Let's give him the tag. Let's give him the tag belts, the belts that we don't give a fuck about. But we're at least gonna give him a bone and give him a celebration, and maybe that'll soften it up, so he can probably have a retirement tour that we can fuck up here too.
We can fuck up more than one retirement tour. That's dope. Let's do it.
Like it's the small details that count. So if they throw him this bone and keep those bullshit titles on AJ for the next 4 months, that'll carry him into WrestleMania season, thinking that they're gonna cook something up nice for him. And he'll probably get a match with El Grande Americano.
they're gonna face Los Americanos for the tag team titles at Mania next year.
So it's like they're throwing him this bullshit bone, and like, yeah, you see, we care about you, and we want you to see how we value you, and we want you to end your career with the WWE. There's no place like the WWE. This is where moments happen. You see the celebration that we provided for you and Dragon Lee that we see so much potential in. Bullshit. But here's your bone. Shut the fuck up. Be happy and take what we give you.
Enjoy this retirement tour.
We see through the bullshit, bro.
Yeah, I don't see anybody that's like, oh man, Dragon Lee and AJ Styles are gonna be great tag team champions. No one's saying that. We've seen this too many times. Like, how many bad world tag team champions have they had in a row? Like they remember the first ones who got this redesigned title. Remember the Awesome Truth title run last year? Awful. Remember JD and Finn's first title run where they only defended the titles once in 4 months? Awful. Remember the War Raiders who won the titles and did absolutely nothing with it before dropping the titles to the worst champions of this era, the New Day? The New Day who win it in April and lose it in June? 2 months later after that great heel turn at the end of 2024. And then they put it back on JD and Finn and literally did the same title run that they did last year. This is, oh my God. I feel like I'm going insane watching WWE. It feels like we're just seeing the same thing being done over and over again. And it's just like, y'all not understanding this. Not working.
Aren't you supposed to defend your title once every 30 days?
They threw that rule away a long time ago.
But it's literally supposed to be an unwritten rule in wrestling. It's clearly that Roman has fucked that rule up all the way that no one has to defend their championships once every 30 days. Because this nigga was this, because Roman, as you know, it's my tribal chief, always. But my man was defending his title once a season.
It was. 2023. He gets over because he had that 3-month stretch when he was full-time from January to WrestleMania season. So he got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes in 3 months. But then you have to wait 4 more months for his next title defense, where he defends against Jey Uso. Then you have to make another 2 months for his final title defense of the year, where he beats LA Knight. And he only still has 5 title defenses for that entire year.
Once a season.
He did more than one a season in the first half, in the first quarter of 2024.
He was
2023
up to snuff for the first season. And then for the next 3 seasons, it was once a season.
But at least we set the bar.
Go the whole year, defends the title 6 times.
Oh, we go to clips from last week with the Usos having issues that we've been seeing develop over the last couple of weeks. And then we go backstage to the locker room. Jimmy Uso's getting ready for tonight's Battle Royal main event. And in comes Jey Uso. Jimmy asks Jey if he's happy now. And Jey says that he was mad at himself last week. And he brings up that he made the same mistake he made in Paris again. And Roman tried to tell him, but Jimmy cuts him off. Reigns isn't here tonight. He says, you know who is here tonight? You know who is in that Battle Royal? You are. You know who is in that Battle Royal? You know who is here tonight? I am. Jimmy says that Reigns has Jey believing that he lost the title because he helped others. He says that's not the case. That's not the reason that you lost the title. You lost the title because you stopped believing in yourself. Jey isn't sure what to believe, but he says that maybe Jimmy is right. But maybe Roman is right too. Jimmy tells him, well, you better go figure it out. Because tonight, I'm going ham on everybody, including you. That's fine with Jey. As they go their separate way, they shake hands, and they seem on the same page heading into the Battle Royal. But that would, of course, change. Any thoughts on this?
And we have, outside of the first segment, our first LVP candidate outside of the first segment. Because his entire segment was Cap.
Yeah, it was. It was Cap. You're all right. You're all right.
His entire segment was Cap.
You're all right. I was gonna say you're picking on Jimmy Uso at this point, but you're all right. It was Cap. He was not going after everybody.
Dumb babyface shit. Dumb babyface shit. Here we go again. These stupid babyfaces are back at it.
You know who's not a stupid babyface? You know who is a babyface, but I think WWE doesn't fully realize yet? The next person we're going to talk about. Our Intercontinental Champion, Dominik Mysterio, as he defends his title against Rusev. Mysterio is defending. He dives through the ropes right from the start when Rusev's making his entrance to get on him fast. Rusev shrugs it off. An elbow has Mysterio down as Rusev kicks him in the chest. Mysterio gets in a few quick shots and then drop kicks Rusev in the back. He tries to go for the 619, but that is cut off by Rusev as he gets a shot to the head, followed by some rather hard suplexes. We take a commercial break and we come back with Mysterio hitting his own suplex after reversing a suplex attempt by Rusev. He goes for the frog splash, but Rusev gets his knees up. The accolade is attempted, as Rusev says, is game over, but Dominik is able to crawl to the ropes and then to the floor. He tries to escape with the Intercontinental Championship in Triple A Mega Campeon, but Penta is here to stop him. This leads to Rusev pushing Dominik into Penta, leaving Mysterio to load up the Timekeeper's hammer again as Rusev is distracted with Penta. He punches him right in the face to take him out of play. Then you get Dom, who tries to go for the 619 with the bell hammer in his boot again, but Rusev is able to block it. He takes the hammer out. He tries to use it, but the referee stops him. With the referee distracted, though, Dom uses it and low blows Rusev right in the back of the balls. That had to hurt.
Then he with that kick, yo.
Then he pushes him into the ropes, hits the 619. He follows up the 619 with a frog splash and gets pretty much, this is as clean as Dominik Mysterio can beat a monster heel, because it wasn't exactly clean because his whole gimmick is he lies, cheats, and steals, but he does get the victory here with the frog splash. Dominik Mysterio retaining the Intercontinental Championship in what I thought was a good matchup. I don't know if it was as good as the previous matchup because the finish was a little bit too similar to the first matchup that they had 3 weeks ago, but I thought that this was another good addition to the catalog that Dominik has assembled as Intercontinental Champion. And this just really feels like, with the crowd reaction that he's getting every single week, this feels like we are seeing the 2003 Eddie Guerrero United States Championship run in real time, where that was the reign where Eddie went from reliable and consistent mid-card, a great wrestler, to main event level character, great wrestler. That was the reign that really changed Eddie Guerrero's career and set him on the axis that led to his WWE title reign. And I think we're seeing that with Dom. Like, he is just going into his bag. The different tricks are just getting over so much with the crowd. The crowd are eating this whole lie, cheat, and steal gimmick up in the same fashion that they did with his biological father more than 20 years ago. So I love to see it for Dom. He really feels like just behind Bron Breakker as the young star who's going to be a WrestleMania main eventer, going to be a world champion. It's just too bad that he's 28 years old, so he has to wait 7 more years. Post-match, you get Penta. He comes into the ring to deliver a springboard Canadian destroyer or Mexican destroyer to Rusev to lay him out. It seems like we're really pushing. They're going to do this triple threat with Penta, Rusev, and Dom somewhere down the stretch here. But like I said, good match, and I'm loving what Dom's doing with this reign. What did you think?
It was a decent match. But like, I think what you had alluded to earlier is that I absolutely love what Dom is doing. I'm not going to say what they're doing with Dom because no. I love what Dom is doing. Like, Dom is, to a degree, in my opinion, just with his popularity and how over he is just becoming in front of our eyes, force in their hand. Dom has to become a world heavyweight champion in 2026.
He feels like the best candidate. He feels like the best candidate to win Money in the Bank. He feels like the best candidate. Like, with his character, him winning Money in the Bank just makes too much sense.
He's too hot. Like, he's hotter than LA Knight's peak.
Yeah.
And this is their homegrown talent. They're somehow gonna find a way to fuck this up too. They're gonna somehow find a way to fuck this up too. Triple H is gonna somehow look at him and just have that genius wrestling instinct and say, "You're not ready yet, kid. The moment will come where you will be ready, but it's just not this year or the next year or the next year." Because you know why? Because we're going to have Dwayne and Roman headline 43. The match that should have happened 4 years ago.
Don't worry, you're going to main event 44. 44.
Or
did I say 44? I meant 54. 54.
You might win the Royal Rumble at 2030.
What? How old will you be at that time? Oh, 33? Perfect.
That would be breaking my record. That would be breaking records.
That would be
right. Become the youngest champion in WWE at that time.
Oh, by the way, Triple H was 30 when he won his first world title. Just want to let everybody know that. Anyway, but we do got a super chat donation here from our good brother I Make Beats, who says, "Thank you so much, I Make Beats, for the support." He says, "Braun losing to 9-time world champ Jey Uso,
crazy, bro.
46. Yeet."
Yeah. I'm never gonna get that. I'm not gonna unsee that image. We're gonna get that shit.
I didn't know what you were referring to, but yes, he did do. He was screaming so hard. He's like, yeah.
Yo, I was fighting for his life.
He says now the makes sense. He's out of breath. That's why he does it. He's like, one word, 4 letters. Breathe. Yes, this is great. This needs to be the next t-shirt. All gas, just breaks.
Yeah. Oh.
King Potato makes a good point as well. At least Ultimate Warrior was running to the ring and out of breath.
At full speed. At full fucking speed.
And then shaking the heavy ropes
shaking
and
the
shit.
ropes?
Yeah, like
them
like
heavy ass ropes.
Like you are just doing this, sir. You should not.
And mind you, he's shaking those ropes so fucking vigorously. The rest of the ropes are shaking. So he's not shaking that shit like a bee, shaking that shit like it's those fucking ropes that you do at the gym.
Yes, yeah, it's like it's an exercise. Absolutely. All gassed, just breaks. That should be the t-shirt. That was great. That was great. Well done, IBP. Well done. Well done. Well done. All right, we have another title match to get into. We talked about the men's Intercontinental Championship. Let's talk about the women's Intercontinental Championship as Becky Lynch defended against Maxxine Dupri in our hometown of Sacramento. Lynch knocks Maxxine down in the corners to start fast. A victory roll gives Dupri a 2 count, but Lynch takes her right back over as she takes her out to the floor and throws her into the timekeeper's area, trying to get a count out, getting in Jessica Carr's face, trying to make sure that she sees that she's being counted out. We come back from commercial break and we got Dupri managing a comeback. She has a snap suplex and then she fires up the crowd by putting down her straps and she goes for the ankle lock. But Lynch is able to reverse things into a cross arm breaker. I thought this was like, I'll say spoiler alert, I thought this was Maxxine Dupri's best performance in a matchup. Whereas I thought that the last match that she had with Becky was her best match. I think that match was better than this one, but Maxine's performance was better in this match than the first match. because people tend to forget that first match, first 5 minutes, Maxxine looked like she never stepped in a wrestling ring in her life. This one, she actually looked capable, and I love the reversal of the cross arm breaker with her doing a neck bridge and then flipping over. I was like,
yeah,
where the fuck you learn that, girl? I see you, Maxxine, putting in that work. All right. She gets out of that one, backflips into another ankle lock, which is broken up as Becky puts it up top, gets her hands on the ropes. She goes up top and she's cut off. Then Maxxine goes up top, hits a high cross body for a 2 count. Becky is so frustrated at this point. She heads to ringside and grabs the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Maxxine tries to cut her off, tries to go for a sunset flip, which she gets a 2 count for. But as she looks at the referee to make sure it's a 2 count, Becky Lynch picks up the Intercontinental Championship, blasts Maxxine in the back with it to cause the DQ finish. A pretty lame finish, but I literally predicted that was going to be the finish. Like halfway through this matchup, I was like, she just beat Becky in a count out. I feel like they could get 2 more matches out of this if they end this in a non-finish as well. And especially with Maxxine being in her hometown of Sacramento, it made sense for her to win in another cheap way. You did count out first time, DQ this time, and then post-match, Becky lays out Maxxine by delivering the manhandle slam, leaving her laying, showing off the frustration from the matchup, as well as her frustration from her husband, Seth Rollins, being kicked out and attacked by the Vision last week, and the words from Paul Heyman earlier in the show, which we would see a further follow-up from Becky Lynch on that fact. But like I said before, really good performance by Maxxine. Overall, though, I thought the match was just fine.
I think this would have been a better match if the finish was better.
Yeah.
I think this would have been this. So I agree with you with this being a better performance from Maxxine, but just overall not a better match.
Yeah.
But I think the finish has a lot to do with that influential decision because, DQ just kind of takes so much steam out of any match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, gotta get a girl her due. Maxxine is working. She still has, obviously, I mean, this shit is a hard-ass profession. She has work. She's got work to do, but she's working. And I gotta give props to that because that is something that she looked like she was so incapable of doing 6 months ago. And now here she is having championship, pretty good matches with the best in the business. And that's speaking a lot, not only obviously for Becky Lynch's ability to give her a good match, but for her to keep up. And that's a good telltale for Maxxine. And just shed that weight. Got to shed that dead weight that accompanies her to the ring.
Why are we talking about Alpha Academy like this?
Like that.
Otis just came back.
Not Otis.
Came back.
You know I'm not talking about Otis. You know how many weeks we've been doing this. You know I ain't talking about Otis.
How dare you talk about Otis like that? That's disrespectful, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can defend you on that.
Man with this fake tan, bro. Like firing Wesley and keeping this fucking guy on the roster.
Always coming at this poor man. What are we doing? But no, I thought, Maxxine's getting better. So, I mean, this is proof positive. This is why I wish that Romeo did show up this week because, man, I remember when Charlotte Flair first Maxxine Dupri earlier this year, and after that matchup, I was telling Romeo, I was like, I think Charlotte's washed. I think she's lost it. And he was like, well, it's only a match with Maxxine. It's not like anybody can have a good match with Maxxine. Becky's had 2 of them. So Becky definitely deserves to be higher on the greatest women's wrestlers list than Charlotte.
Yeah, because you know what it's showing now? It's showing that Charlotte's got bored faster than Becky has. Yeah. So Charlotte doesn't have, and it could have a lot to do with the character that she's playing right now, but there's a fire missing. There's a fire.
Oh, man, I feel like the charm for Charlotte and Alexa was lost once they won the titles.
And on top of that, this is like a backfire of all of that early success.
Yeah.
Is that you become bored and you've done it so many times that doing that again and climbing the mountaintop again, it's not. She's gonna have to have a long stretch of not being a champion, like a long stretch, like a 3-year stretch, to kind of get that juice back, to get that hunger back, to wanting to be back on top. Because she lived in the main event scene for a decade. Like, lived there. Every match she was in was a championship match. Every match she was in was for a title. Every match she was in was the big match. This is probably good food for her to not be in the main event scene, because hopefully that'll be something to help build that hunger back again because of how successful she was early.
But Becky, all she's really doing is just having a boring tag team title run.
And Becky was in waves. Becky wasn't always at the top.
Yeah, like there's a reason, Charlotte comes in, and they both come in 2015, and it took like 2 months before Charlotte gets a shot at the Divas Championship. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch, she won the SmackDown Women's Championship in 2016, but she doesn't really get into the main event picture of the women's division until 2018, when she turns on Charlotte Flair. It took 3 years for her to eventually get up to that spot where she deserved to be.
And guess who was there all 3 of them years? Charlotte
Flair. Yep.
So, and it's not a knock on Charlotte's talent, because obviously I think Charlotte is the best women's wrestler of all time. Like I will stand on that horse. Like, I don't, like, as far as a wrestler and an athlete, Charlotte is the GOAT when it comes to wrestler. Now, when it comes to the whole package, that's where Becky oversees her.
I disagree with the Charlotte.
That's fine.
That's fine. I think Sasha Banks is better than Charlotte,
that's fine. That's just I think everybody. I think when it comes to women's wrestling, I think it's definitely a subjective opinion when it comes to the style and what you appreciate they can do, because they are all so unique that it's like which style gravitates to you more. And in the ring, I think Charlotte is untouchable. But
I think Sasha is the one who's untouchable. Mercedes Moné. I think Charlotte, the category, if we're breaking it down by category, the category that Charlotte is by far number 1 in, it's not in ring, it's accolades, it's kayfabe. Kayfabe push, like no one in WWE history, no other woman has been pushed the way Charlotte Flair has. Like you said it, decade in the title picture, 14 world championship. Right. Yeah. She's been tag team champion, NXT champion twice. Like no one will beat her when it comes to accomplishments and kayfabe push. In ring, I think it's just been proven. Mercedes Moné is just unbelievable. She can have an unbelievable match with just about anybody. And I think the fact that Charlotte cannot do that with a lesser performer. Like, think about the best Charlotte Flair matches. Who exactly does she raise up to have a great to good matchup or memorable match with? I can't think of one. I can't think of one. That's what I'm saying. I think Mercedes is just better. I honestly think that this last 4 years since she had her kid, Becky Lynch is better in the ring than Charlotte Flair.
And I think, I wouldn't be able to argue it. I think the change of scenery definitely enhances the argument for Mercedes. Like absolutely enhances it for Mercedes. And I think if people go that route of Mercedes, I won't be mad at that. Like she is one of the baddest chicks in the history of the business. But, I think it's just when game is on, when game on, like it's just, that big match, that big fight feel. I get that feeling if she's in that spot. I get the Charlotte Flair thing. I just think that there has become fatigue when it comes to the Charlotte thing. And when she's out of the scene and then she ends up earning her way back to it, not getting the main event of WrestleMania the first night you're back in the fucking company, that fucking sways people's opinions very negatively, because it's not being earned. It's literally being handed to you through booking. And that booking, and then seeing how you fucking handle the booking, yeah, it's gonna be influential. And that I can't get mad at. Charlotte has had way too much success way too early on, and now it's like people has gone tired of it and tired of her, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just think like what I said with like the in-ring. If you can have a good match with like a lesser performer, then and that the next person cannot have that same matchup, then you're the better wrestler. Similar in that I think that we're seeing in real time that Becky Lynch is better than Charlotte Flair because they both have lesser women's titles. Whose reign is going better?
And then at the same time is that they gotta book these matches better. Yeah. Like they gotta book more back and forth style matches with Charlotte Flair to prove that. Like
she had a good matchup with Saruka and Zarya on SmackDown this week. I'm not saying that she's not having good matches in the tag team division. She's not doing anything memorable with the tag team.
But like this just now happened. No, the tag team titles is this has got to be part of the downtime. But the history of her booking, she's usually the dominant performer.
Yeah,
and that. You can't do the same shit over. Like Becky Lynch is a very back and forth performer. Mercedes is a very back and forth offensive, defensive performer. So that you can now tell you're giving the other wrestler opportunities to look good, and you're looking good while doing that. The way Charlotte gets booked, those opportunities don't come very often, which is to me solely booking.
Oh, Nutty
She's too dominant.
Nutty says Charlotte most push, Mercedes the best wrestler, Becky the best promo, Bayley the most loved. That's a good way to put it. Can't disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point.
Yeah. So we see highlights of the Australian International Tour where Rhea Ripley suffered a nose injury. She got her nose busted. It looked really bad. And then we hear from the Kabuki Warriors who are bragging about this fate for Rhea Ripley. They are happy to have beaten up Io Sky last week and injure Rhea Ripley on the tour. They said that they are the reason you broke our family, so we broke your face. Says Rhea, I want you to remember that it was me who ruined your trip home, says Asuka. Then she yells, she does her signature catchphrase, Kairi! Last week, you finally showed me what I've always wanted to see from you. And she says that now the Kabuki Warriors are going to take over the entire tag team division, and they're coming back for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I thought this was a cool vignette. I thought this made the Kabuki Warriors feel like a threat. Yet I would have liked a little bit more, but I understood they were kind of like booked against that because of Rhea Ripley not being there with the injury. Io Sky traveled to Japan because she's facing Mayu Iwatani in the big dream match on Sunday. So I understand they didn't have their rivals there. So this felt like the best use of them, considering that. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. If they are slowly burning, trying to create women's tag teams, I won't be opposed to that. Because you can see it. They got the Becky and Lyra. They got, you got the Kabuki Warriors there. You have Ruka and Zarya. You have opponents potentially for Charlotte and Alexa. So I'm not mad at that at all. And that would mean
I think the Kabuki Warriors should win these titles immediately.
They need better spotlights. Yes, those titles need better spotlights.
Put the titles in this feud. This is probably the biggest women's feud currently going on WWE main roster. Just put the titles on Kabuki Warriors. And at least the titles can get a big spotlight instead of being featured in 30-second backstage segments with Charlotte and Alexa not being able to act natural as friends.
And they just need to make that split happen already and just let them have a couple blow-off matches and just let them both move on.
We go backstage where I was going to get pissed off again. Paul Heyman knocks on the door of Adam Pearce.
Here's where the mood changes.
Adam Pearce comes out and he tells him that he just had to let the production team know that he had to change the graphic on the Battle Royal. He says that Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are out of the Battle Royal. And if Heyman wants them back in, all he has to do is say please. Heyman thinks for a second, and then he says please, not once, but twice. He says, please, can you consider putting Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed back into the Battle Royal? Please. Pearce says no, screams it in his face, and then slams the door in Heyman's face. So disrespectful. Heyman says, can this day get any worse? And it did. As he turns around to see the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Rebecca Quinn, Becky Lynch. Becky isn't happy. Heyman begs off and offers Lynch a spot in the Vision, saying that you're the breadwinner now in the team and that, that was the Braun Stars that conspired against Rollins. He had no choice. He put himself physically in between the Brauns and Seth, but he had no choice but to join with them. But she could still be part of the Vision, that there is a Vision up with Becky Lynch, a part of it, where she can have her hot husband recovering at home and have an adorable Oracle on the road.
Jesus Christ.
Lynch is not too pleased with any of this. She gets in Heyman's face, she grabs him by the tie, and she calls him a penguin face prick, saying that his cheap oil salesman pitch isn't going to work on her. She says that she's never trusted him, and neither did her husband. Rollins knew that Heyman was going to turn on him, and he was actually surprised that it took him so long. Rollins knew all of that, so we'll see what happens when Rollins gets back. Becky promises Heyman that her husband will kill, K-I-L-L, kill anyone associated with Paul Heyman and the Vision, but you don't mean anything to my husband, so you'll be safe. He won't kill you. He'll just make you wish that he did. I thought this segment was really well done performance by Becky Lynch. I thought that she came off very well in not like fully turning babyface, but still making the threat on Seth Rollins' behalf that basically sets up the story that we're going to see when Seth Rollins is back and feuding with Paul Heyman's crew in the Vision. I thought she was really good here. The only misstep that I think she took is that, so are you telling me Seth Rollins is a fucking idiot? He knew Paul Heyman was going to turn on him and still aligned with him and didn't turn on him before Heyman turned on him first? So Seth, you're a fucking idiot. Congratulations. That's cool. And then the whole Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce, like none of that shit made sense. None of that shit made sense. And thank God Rebecca Quinn came into this segment, or this segment would probably be the worst on the night. She literally saved this single-handedly with her performance. What did you think?
Yeah, that was Rebecca Quinn. That wasn't Becky Lynch. She was the highlight of this, but this was just more abomination on top of the shit they started earlier in the show. This is the culmination of all the bullshit. For what fucking reason do we decide we are just going to remove these men from the match? Because you're butthurt.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Then the man capitulates to what you ask And not only he capitulates, he does it respectfully and very well. And you say no because you're still butthurt. Like that is just it makes no sense.
Am I the only one that felt like Pierce came off like the heel in this segment?
I mean, Pierce is a nobody, so he's either a heel or a bait. No one cares. Like legit, no one cares. If this man wasn't on this show wouldn't lose a step. Like he is literally a waste of space. Anyway, with that, man, like he's a waste of space. Like no one would miss him if he wasn't on the show. Like he's a nothing. I would rather the computer over him. I would rather the computer because at least the computer gets right to the point. This, he's unreliable. He's unreliable. He suffers no he deals no consequences. But so what they did to Roman Reigns, nothing happened to them. But because you felt disrespected, you remove these men from a match?
Yep.
How does any of that make sense?
I don't understand.
All they had to do is put you could have even went as far as putting a reward or a bounty on them and just make sure these two men don't win this match.
Or you could have actually did what a lot of these WWE fans that want to defend WWE without knowing the information, but you could have just had Pierce say they're not in the matchup in the opening segment. And then we could have done what we said would have improved the segment, and he used the world title as the bargaining chip to be in the Battle Royal.
It's just ridiculous, actually, that as we're talking about it, this show actually hasn't been terrible.
No.
But this group of segments and the main event, it's what's going to tank this show's overall score.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that is really it. Like the wrestling on this show was solid to good throughout the night, but this just the overall direction of the main event picture just really brings this all down very drastically. But we get up next, your favorite time of the show. Your t-shirt is here as we have WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer going one-on-one with the Judgment Day's Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez in our corner. Perez chills in the ropes to start before pulling Vaquer into a body scissors. That's reversed rather quickly. Vaquer works on the arm. Perez breaks that up and goes after the arm and switches to a roll-up. Back up, Vaquer scares her out to the floor only to take Perez down back inside. We get the threat of the Devil's Kiss is reversed by Perez, who rose to the ropes, allowing for her to get a poke to the eyes, and then Raquel behind the referee's back getting in a cheap shot. We come back from break with Perez in control before Vaquer hits a Meteora in the corner and then follows up with the Dragon Screw leg whip. The Devil's Kiss connects, but she goes for the SVP, and that is broken. The SVB, and that is broken up. Perez fights back and hits the cartwheel knees to the back of the head. She goes for the pop rocks, but that doesn't work. Vaquer instead hits a 619 with Perez falling outside. Vaquer goes to the top rope and she takes out both of members of the Judgment Day with a crossbody off the top to the floor. And then she finishes things off in the ring. She gets Perez into the double underhook and hits the Gutbuster, the Angel's Wings for the 1-2-3 to pick up another victory here. Post-match, you get Raquel Rodriguez. She attacks Vaquer from behind, leading to a save being made by Sacramento's own WWE Hall of Famer, Nikki Bella. The Bella Buster is here, and she's got the back of her very good friend, Stephanie McCare, who she did not know how to say her last name 3 months ago. Nikki Bella fights off Roxanne and Raquel. Raquel gets a big boot on Nikki, leading to Vicaire, who tries a springboard, but she slips off the top rope. Looks like she hurts her knee in the process. Then her and Nikki get a double drop kick on Raquel to stand tall. They hug and embrace and stand tall in the ring, looking at the Judgment Day post-match here. This was solid. I thought it would be a little bit better, but it did seem to me personally like Stephanie Vicaire was a little bit off here. Like you saw that more in the post-match with the botch at the post-match for the springboard, but in the early going of this matchup, it just seemed like her feet work wasn't there. There was a lot of clunky spots in this one. It turned out to be a solid enough matchup, but I just expected it to be great because I think these two women are both great. But they haven't been able to have a great match together quite yet. And the post-match, Nikki Bella's here because, Stephanie Vicaire can't be involved with any of the other top women on Monday Night Raw, like Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. She has to feud with Nikki Bella. Cool.
I mean,
any thoughts?
In all fairness, I mean, Io's not around. Rhea's hurt. Becky's got her own issues. I don't think being aligned or doing anything, but Stephanie is gonna be in line with any of the other women's issues and commitments.
I just want to let you know, JJ, they write the show, so
I know
they can easily change these things.
I know, but they're not.
Oh, okay.
They're not.
See, you should have started with that. You should have started with the lead. You didn't start with the lead.
We're in WWE world, so we know that they're not going to just make it good. And they had to appease the home crowd of Sacramento and give them their own, and But the I agree. I think they were trying to do a little too much showing off, and it didn't really come off great.
No.
Like they try to get really like technically fun, and they try to do a lot of like roll style wrestling and a lot of like the classic maneuver style counter moving, and I think either Steph was a little tired or they just didn't have the on-spot chemistry for that all to come out as fluid as they know they can make it. Like, for example, like when Stephanie and Io was doing that catch-as-catch-can style wrestling, it was damn near flawless. There's a timing issue with them two that they need to probably rehearse a little bit more if they're going to pull off that type of match. Because that wasn't one of those like brawl style matches or like big moves and hit each other with big offensive spots. This was more of a wrestling match. And if you're going to have a wrestling match, you got to be on point with the timing. Because one thing I was a little like, and as clearly, y'all know how much I love this woman, but I'm going to be fair. Is even when she tried to do like that kick up when that gut sit up, complete fail. Like and it takes both people to sit up for that to happen. Stephanie ain't gonna be able to pick up dead weight. That's not how that move works. You both gotta sit up and you gotta do that at the same time for it to be fluid. And Roxanne didn't give her any assistance. So it didn't work. So like it started off clunky, and that's when I think you've seen a little frustration from Stephanie, which she turned it into like a basic move. So I think it's just a little bit more, if they're gonna have that style of match, they just got to do a little bit more rehearse work to make sure the timing is good. It was a solid match, but yeah, it could have been so much better. And I know what they're capable of, but this was almost like they're testing each other. They're testing the waters, and that was their rehearsal. But how many more matches are they going to have together is going to be like a question, because that wasn't the best work of either one. The match was solid, but nowhere near what they're both capable of doing.
Yeah. Now they've only had two singles matches, one in NXT and then this one here. And they were both, well, the first one was good. This was solid. But like they haven't had like a great match together, and maybe they just need more reps against each other. But we're probably going to see more of tag team action between those two, as backstage Nikki Bella is with the Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicaire, giving her a pep talk about having her back and how you might need somebody now that she's the champion. Vicaire says that she owes Bella one, and Bella says that's fine, as she just made some enemies and is going to need Vicaire by her side, and Vicaire agrees. So we're going to see a tag team matchup with Stephanie Vicaire and Nikki Bella, but this whole warning by Nikki Bella just felt like the most blatant and obvious. She's going to turn on you very shortly here.
Yeah, I'm not like in the direction of this so far, because then that means we got to get a Nikki Bella versus Stephanie match, and that's going to be rough.
Because God forbid the other 8 women on this show that Stephanie could be feuding with. No, we got to have her feud with WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella.
Because we're going to have the Kabuki Warriors go for the tag titles.
Oh, not Asuka, who feels like she's ready for a main event spot. Not her going after the world title. No, couldn't do that.
No, that's just too easy. It's too much layups.
You can't do that. You're thinking too small. That's not big. That's not a big enough show. Oh, that was the other thing that was the other thing I didn't mention. JJ, and none of the other excuses the WWE fan base is saying. And when I say WWE fan base, I mean our very own Romeo. Saturday night's main event is not a big enough show for Bron Breakker to win his first world title. And that is completely disregarding the fact WWE writes this shit. They don't need to do the world title match at Saturday night's main event. They can do a tournament at Survivor Series if you want the motherfucker to win it at a main event, at a pay-per-view, you idiots.
But Survivor Series is supposed to be War Games.
So he has to wait for WrestleMania. I want to see Braun win the Royal Rumble and then go into WrestleMania.
Hold on. So Saturday night's main event is not a big enough show.
Nope, apparently not.
So that's what we had Goldberg's final match.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're gonna have John Cena's final
match.
This is where we've had.
That's where you've had your biggest TV ratings of the year so far with Saturday night's main event.
So we've also wasted a John Cena match on Saturday night's main event
against R-Truth. You are absolutely correct. We've done undisputed WWE championship matchups in the past at Saturday night's main event. You know what we haven't done at Saturday night's main event, JJ? We haven't crowned a new champion at Saturday night's main event, but that's happening at the next Saturday night's main event. But it's going to be between a 47-year-old and a 40-year-old.
With the guy that is the fucking layup, not even involved in the proceedings.
Nope.
He wasn't even out there.
Wasn't even out there. Didn't even show up at the end to beat people up. Like let's talk about the segment the last time we saw him. But before we do that, we had Bayley surprises Lyra Valkyria. Lyra's talking to Adam Pearce about something, and she says that she has a surprise for her next week, as it is her birthday. Vicaire is scared and wants to know what it is, but Bayley's like, and it wouldn't be surprised. So we'll see what happens there. And then we get our final backstage segment with the Vision. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, they're chilling. They aren't happy with being left out of the Battle Royal. Paul Heyman comes in, and Bron just basically looks at him like, what the fuck? Like, explain to me why we're not in this. And Heyman just goes on this very long soliloquy where WWE is just trolling us at this point. Because Heyman brings up the fact You know who listened to me before? In 2002, Brock Lesnar. He could have came in and he could have washed through the whole entire WWE roster on the first night. But he listened to me. He bided his time and he was able to beat The Rock at SummerSlam and become WWE champion because he listened to me. CM Punk. CM Punk was like a piranha. No one wanted him in this company. They were ready to fire him 100 days into his WWE title reign in 2012. But he got the guidance of me. He listened to me. And he had a title reign for 434 days. How many main events of WrestleMania did Roman Reigns, the big dog, headline? How many people even remember that? Ever since I made him the tribal chief and then that title reign, everybody remembers. So all you have to do is listen to me. Because when I see you two, if you two want to see the future, all you have to do is look in the mirror. Just look in the mirror. Heyman walks out. And oh my God, I thought I leading up to this, I was like, Heyman just cut a really good promo. I was like, this could be a salvageable backstage segment. And then they put the cherry on top of, we literally are doing a whole episode where we're making our 28-year-old future top star into a fucking dweeb. Because Bron Breakker, they put the camera on him and Bronson Reed, and he tells Bronson Reed, maybe I still have a lot to learn. Yo, fuck you, WWE. Yo, fuck you. Fuck you. This dude, you literally told us in the same episode, he conspired to get the one-up on one of the tippy top stars, the current world heavyweight champion. He's the one who was smart enough to come up with a plan, who's learned enough to come up with a plan to basically revolt against the leader of the vision. And he convinced everybody else in the room to turn against Seth and revolt against the leader. But he still has a lot to learn. He's still a fucking dweeb. And then he said, I still have a lot to learn and a lot of people to beat up. And Bronson Reed was like, me too. And they ain't beat up nobody the rest of the show. This is embarrassing. This follow-up to Bron Breakker last week is embarrassing. JJ?
I hate these people. I hate these people. Like, genuinely can't stand these people. And they somehow managed to make each segment worse. So all of a sudden, the man that conspired this, the man that lit the match to start this, is now the pupil by default. The brain that actually put the three of them together in triumph over the then world champion is now being talked down to by now the all of a sudden new leader of the division in Paul Heyman. The non-wrestler, the non-star, the Oracle is now the future of this. He's the visionary of this. He is the mastermind of all of this now after he allegedly was forced into this situation. Now he's the brains behind it all that's got to make these two listen. Since fucking when? Since fucking when that this guy that looks like the bona fide leader and badass of this faction, the de facto boss of this group, is now being talked down to like he's a damn child.
Imagine Brock Lesnar in 2002 saying, I still got a lot to learn.
Guess what the de facto does? He listens. He listens. It just says, I have a lot to learn. Nigga, what? What? You might as well have just accompany Seth and just have surgery and just be out for 6 months too.
right? Like why did y'all do that last week? Like I wouldn't if they just ended Raw with the Vision standing tall and then started this week's Raw with everything they did, I wouldn't be upset. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be upset.
I will tell you, I wouldn't be as upset about this if Paul Heyman was the man that delivered a low blow to Seth Rollins and he started this.
Yeah.
Then
everything would make sense on this show.
Then his segment makes much more sense. It was Bron Breakker that gave Bronson the choice and that made Paul made a choice. Now all of a sudden, he's the fallback guy and he's now just taking orders and taking advice and now he's being talked to like he's some fucking player that's trying to come off the bench all of a sudden. No, Bron Breakker made himself the starter and the captain and the star of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paul talks down to the star, and the star all of a sudden says, I have a lot to learn. Fucking make it make sense.
None of this
fucking make it make sense. Please.
None of this makes sense. Like, what are we talking about?
If Paul Heyman did what he did to Roman Reigns when he did this to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, if he did the same thing to Seth Rollins and Braun and then Bronson followed what Paul did, this all makes sense this week.
None of this makes sense as it is. It just doesn't. And this is why I have to read more of Romeo's great responses to I couldn't even finish that statement because it's not great responses. He said, and I quote, "They've been telling the story since Braun joined the Vision that he is learning from Heyman." Basically saying that, that made sense. It made sense.
So we're doubling down on it.
Yep.
So that's what happens. And what's crazy is that most people is going to be so poisoned by the WWE brain cell system. This is somehow going to make sense to them.
Yeah.
This is somehow they can't wait to see what happens next. They're going to be so on board of what, like, if you are going to make Paul Heyman, because guess who didn't say shit during the opening promo? Bron Breakker. All he did was ask the man to say. All he did was ask the man to say.
He got to say one thing, but
he asked the man to say please. That's it. And what happens if I don't?
I think
literally like a boom.
One of the big issues that's going on here is let me make sure I got this right. Because this is another stat that might surprise some people, because I don't think that we have even mentioned this the last couple of weeks. But do you remember the last time that Bron Breakker was in a actual wrestling match?
No. Was it about a month ago?
It was. And I'll tell you. That's why I wanted to get the exact match.
Feels like
so he's been on live events, but his last match on Monday Night Raw, last tag team matchup, was on September 29th. His last singles match, it was in August. Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Yes.
And you know what? Since we are in the aftermath of this, I have to now do hindsight. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I am taking a full point away from last week's Raw.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think last week's Raw I gave it a 9. I'm at least.
I am going down to 8 and a quarter. I'm
going down to at least 8.
I'm going down to a flat 8. Yeah. I'm taking a full. No. No, fucking no. I'm not giving, after what the fuck they pulled this week, I'm not keeping that fucking episode on a pedestal.
No.
I'm not doing it. So I'm going backwards and I'm retracting a fucking point and a quarter from last week.
That seems fair to me. I don't know about anybody
That
else.
just became now an above average episode.
It went from a great episode, one of the best of the year, to just a very good episode. Very
solid.
Good. Very good. Very good stuff. Well, let's talk about this main event. As the stakes were high in this over-the-top rope. I believe it was supposed to be 20-man battle royal, but I guess it's only
just so you know, you guys in the chat that kind of helped that gave it high marks to, y'all are in the right to retract points as well.
Yes, y'all have the opportunity to retract points as well. We get CM Punk's on commentary as he's facing the winner of the matchup at Saturday night's main event. We get a brawl early on to start things off as everything breaks down with Ivar and Otis standing in the center of the ring, and they start slugging at one another. Everyone stops to watch before realizing that it's Otis versus Ivar and continue fighting each other. Otis and Rusev slugs it out, with Otis actually running him over. Back up, Rusev low bridge Otis out of the ring and doing the same to a Hoken up to Zawa. So American Alpha Academy were immediately out of this one. We get Dragon Lee tries for a big move. He tries for a springboard, but Judgment Day shoves him out to even a bit even up the score from last week and get from earlier in the night and get a bit of revenge. Mysterio actually gets rid of Rusev and Penta at once. So that was a surprising move there. As we take a commercial break, we come back with Ivar sitting on Styles' chest in the corner before slugging it out with Sheamus. Ivar gets dumped to the apron and pulls Sheamus out with him. Sheamus hits a white noise on the apron and eliminates Ivar. El Grande Americano loads up his mask, but he's taken out by the Usos with the double super kick. Sheamus forearms Balor out and tries to do the same to McDonough, with Kingston sneaking up for the double elimination. Sheamus brawls to the back with the Judgment Day while Styles tosses Dirty Dom out of the ring, but no referee sees it at their focus with Sheamus and Judgment Day. We get Dominik sneaking back into the ring and he goes after Styles as we take a commercial break. We come back from commercial break and it's 6 men remaining: Jimmy, Jay, Mysterio, Kingston, Styles, and Knight. Kingston monkey flips Styles but gets sent out to the apron. Styles knocks Kingston out and we're down to 5. CM Punk starts talking about the new tag team champions who are to be called AJ Lee. So of course CM Punk can call them that, but nobody else. Then we get Knight hammers away. At one point, LA Knight, for some cockamamie reason, puts on a submission, and CM Punk calls him a fucking idiot for that, which I agree. Knight hammers away for a bit as Barrett acts as if their loins are tingling. Joe Tessitore says, "Please say they're not. Please say they're not." Knight hits Jimmy with the top rope elbow, but he has to escape a Styles Clash. Knight grabs the reverse Boston Crab at this point, which Punk says that's pretty dumb. So maybe he does want to face LA Knight in this one. Then we get Styles is knocked out by LA Knight. Jimmy goes after LA Knight, leaving Jay there as he's watching all of this. And he basically decides right after Jimmy had saved him for a second time in this matchup. Jimmy at multiple times in the matchup saved his brother. With Jimmy and LA Knight nearly out of the ring, Jay gives them the last little salvo as he pushes them out to eliminate them. Jimmy is livid after this. Dominik Mysterio is left in the ring with Jay. He tries for the 619, but Jay's able to reverse thing, and he eliminates Dominik Mysterio to win the main event battle royal. He moves on to face CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event on November 1st. Jimmy Uso is none too pleased whatsoever with his brother. He's yelling at him from ringside. Meanwhile, CM Punk gets into the ring. He confronts Jay Uso, getting into his face. They go forehead to forehead as we end Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso versus CM Punk. Think it should be a good matchup. I just don't give a fuck. I have no interest in seeing this matchup. I think that it will be a good matchup, but I just have no interest in it. These are not two guys that I wanted to see wrestle. I actually wanted to see Bron Breakker facing CM Punk more at Saturday Night's Main Event than Jey Uso. I understand Jey Uso is popular. I understand he has a story going on. So they can use this to their favor in progressing the Jey Uso story while putting the title on Punk, who will eventually drop the title to Bron Breakker. But that feels like one step too many, and you could have just made this simple and put the fucking title on Bron Breakker. So if that is your answer to any complaints about the fact that they didn't put Bron Breakker in the matchup as, oh, yeah, they're just putting the title on Punk so he could drop it to Bron Breakker, that seems like a big fucking waste of time. You should just put the title on Bron Breakker. He doesn't need to beat Punk as champion to become champion. He could have just beat Punk to become the fucking champion. What did you think about the battle? Battle Royal was fun. What did you think?
Battle Royal was whatever. Power Driver, I see your question. He won a triple threat match, beating Jey Uso to become #1 contender, which is why Punk is automatically in the match to face the guy he beat to become the #1 contender.
And it's like, dude, the easiest thing they could have done was have LA Knight.
Do you understand
LA Knight versus CM Punk has been pushed on this fucking show for like months. Why does it take fucking years to do the obvious fucking matchup? We've been waiting for the payoff to Punk and Rollins. We have to wait longer. We've been waiting for the payoff of Roman versus Rollins. We gotta wait longer. We've been waiting for Roman versus fucking Punk since last year's Survivor Series in 1 fucking year. What the fuck are we doing? And we've been waiting for months for LA Knight and CM Punk, and these motherfuckers said, Jey Uso, you're the winner.
Can someone help me understand why the fuck Jey Uso is even in this match? Jey Uso shouldn't even have been. He lost. He is the man that got pinned in the #1 contenders match. Not LA Knight. Jey Uso got pinned in this match. So I'll let you throw him in there. And not only that, we're going to make the man win this match. So what the fuck was the purpose of the triple threat match? And then the two contenders that should be in the match for no reason just got updated, graphically removed. Yo, this is the epitome of stupidity from this fucking place, bro. Like, do y'all not remember that this match was 2 weeks ago? This was 2 weeks ago. This shit just happened. This shit just happened. October fucking 6th. This shit just happened. And now you're gonna act like it's a fresh new match for CM Punk that earned his way into it to the guy that he literally beat to get there?
I would have took Dom winning this matchup.
I wanted Dom versus Breakker in the worst way possible. For fuck's sakes, I just wanted to see new faces. I just wanted to see new faces in this picture. But no. We get the Raw ending that we've gotten for 3 months in a row. We get the same motherfucking two people that was going back and forth with the Vision for fucking 3 months in a row. Back at it again for the championship that they took from the Vision, but then they took the Vision out of the match for no reason.
Yep.
And then the Vision wasn't even a part of the fucking aftermath.
Nope.
This show sucks.
Oh my god. Like yeah. It just doesn't. It does not make sense. Like, and no, I don't like my Fed television after last night. That shit pissed me off. I was like, at the end of Monday Night Raw, I was like, I should have watched Monday Night Football.
Dog, even the baby wasn't fucking with Jay.
Yo, the baby didn't even want to give him a dap. Baby no-sold him. It was great.
Baby
Great
no
job.
yeeted.
I think the baby might be a candidate for MVP.
I think the baby is a candidate for MVP.
I think it is. But let us know who you think is the MVP.
My head like legit hurts right now.
It's because I penetrated your brain early.
This shit has given me a headache. Like, why does this place have to be so fucking overproduced to become overly stupid?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let us know in the chat who is your MVP for the show, who is your LVP for the show, match of the night, moment of the night, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? And final call for super chat donations as well. Thank you so much to Vollup and I Make Beats who showed us their support earlier in the show. We always appreciate y'all. For me and Top Guy JJ for the October 20th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down. Out of 10, what did you give the show, JJ?
Give it a 5. And the only reason it's going to 5 is because of the in-ring work from the tag team match that was actually really good for Steph and for Roxanne, for Becky and for Maxxine. Everything else was just shit. And outside of Bex putting the walrus in his place.
Yes.
This show was just ass.
Yeah, I went with I was a little generous. I went with 6 out of 10. But I usually would give a 6 out of 10, like a thumbs in the middle. I give this a thumbs down. This is like a very frustrating 6 out of 10. Like the like you said, the most part, the in-ring work was good on the show. There was a couple of backstage segments and promos that were effective on the show. But when the lead storyline just makes no kind of sense, it just drags everything down. Like everything else on this show was fine to at least good. But when the lead storyline has this much logicals, when they have a layup move to make and they don't make it and they refuse to even do anything with the ball, the basketball is still waiting to be checked in. They just won't even, they're right at the rim. They just have to be given the ball and just throw it up and put it in the basket. And they just refuse. They like, no, wait. Guys, the game is still going. Why are you leaving? Why are you walking out the door? You're just going to leave the basket. It's your ball. That's basically what WWE did with Bron Breakker. It's your Braun. Why don't you want to push him? And here we are. 6 out of 10 for me. MVP for the show, us. We watched it, so we deserve the MVP. JJ.
I agree with both you and Greg on that.
Yep. We had to struggle. We had to go through this. If I had to pick someone on the show, I'm picking Becky Lynch. Not for anything she did on the show, because she's Becky Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah, I am not even going honorable mentions. No one on the show actually deserves it. And it's not to the fault of any of the competitors or the talent. We know why. And this easily leaks into who the fuck our LVP is. And honorable mention to Jimmy Uso because his whole segment was cap. But if it is anybody other than Triple H, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Honorable mention to the Vision because they were given shit to talk about on this show.
But the
like,
shit was given by who?
Yeah, definitely it's Triple H. Is that I can't give the stats and facts that I gave on this review and not give it to Triple H. So it is Triple H. MVP, I said it was us. Match of the night, style, Phenomenal Dragons versus Judgment Day.
I agree.
And then moment of the night, 10:35 p.m. Eastern time was the moment of the show. That's when it went off air. JJ.
The moment of the night, or the moment, or I guess it's called moment of the night, not of the show, because the moment of the show would have been you absolutely shredding them. But yeah, moment of the night was seeing the end credits.
Seeing Lee Fitted and Paul Levesque.
Seeing the end credits, to know that I just stayed up until fucking midnight for that shit, because I didn't catch it. I didn't watch it all live.
This is just cruel trolling by Asuka there. Cruel trolling. Says the moment of the night was when Pierce took Braun out of the match. That's cruel trolling.
Yeah, moment of the night.
It did. Okay, Asuka. See, this was the great follow-up comment. She said it wasn't a good moment, but it changed the show. You know what? You right. You are right. You are right.
That is a hell of a way to put it.
It did change the show.
Yeah. Actually,
you might be right. I
agree with you, Asuka. Actually, I do. I agree with you, Asuka. That was the moment of the night, because that is when the show got ruined.
Yeah. It got
that was the moment that tanked this show, and it just continued in bits and pieces to tank even further. So yeah. And it's fucked up that we had new champions on this show, and
we don't even read. It's not even an honorable mention for moment of the night. That's sad. But it is definitely the match of the show. But we've come to an end on another edition of Rated Raw Review. I am hoping that they watch this and they rebound and have a good week next week, but won't hold my breath. JJ, thank you as always for joining me. Let everybody know when they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHeal_Top Guy JJ, and on the YouTube channel, Romeo, you should be on call because I'm not sure if I can tolerate this next week. I'm tentative for next week.
I don't blame you.
I'm so tentative for next week. Like, this was frustrating to watch.
This was very frustrating
and
to watch.
You might need to hear an unreal opinion.
Yes,
probably set you off. So I'll be tentative.
Okay, I'll let him know once we're done here. I'm gonna let him know.
Yeah, just Romeo, be ready.
Fair. All right, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSB3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here. And check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our AEW Wrestle Dream review. Check out True Hill Heat 351 from this past weekend with myself, True Draw Josh, and Miss Chrissy Love breaking down this weekend wrestling. And I'll be back with you tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time, with our NJPW Super Junior Tag League preview, breaking down the big tournament starting on Thursday from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Thursday, we got AE Ramble. And then on Friday, we got our WWE NXT Halloween Havoc preview with myself and Kate from Fightful. So join us for that as well. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought about Monday Night Raw. What do you think about Triple H waiting on pushing Bron Breakker? And are you as upset with that as we are? Let us know in the comments. And if you're not, that's fine. Like what you like, just don't be a dick. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new. For Top Guy JJ, it is me, your true ill phenom, SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 90, Yeet versus Punk. We are signing off until next time.
Thank